Our last subject area is an important one, that being civic engagement. We asked respondents to tell us about their level of involvement in the community. Here's what we found. Nearly 90% of respondents said that no other organization had ever approached them to discuss quality of life issues. The results of the civic engagement segment of the survey support our foundation's emphasis on the need for more Latino engagement in all aspects of Silicon Valley life. The respondents reported that they were more likely to get involved in civic engagement activities such as volunteering for an organization and attending a public meeting versus signing a petition, contacting a government official, or voting in an election. All categories were not reflective of the level of engagement needed from our community. However, we did find a difference among respondents based on income levels. Higher income residents, shown in this slide as red bars, were more likely to be involved in all civic engagement activities, both non-electoral and electoral, compared to low-income residents, shown in the blue and orange bars. We're now going to engage our guest commentators in a discussion regarding civic engagement. In the time we have remaining, I would like to discuss the Voices of Change report's results around the area of civic engagement. I welcome back our guest commentators. Joining me are Matt Hammer, Alicia Aguirre, Alex Torres, and Rocio Luna. I'm so pleased you all could be a part of this program as we continue our foundation's mission to convene and engage the Latino community. It is clear that most of our Latino community is not fully engaged in the community. So I'd like to solicit your thoughts on the important area of civic engagement. First, Council Member, former Mayor of Redwood City, Alicia Aguirre, what's been your experience with the Latino community and how does that compare with what we saw in our Voices of Change report?
You know, Ron, as I read through the report, one of the things I noticed is how similar it is to all the needs of the Latino community in San Mateo County and Redwood City. I think one of the differences for San Mateo and Santa Clara is the demographics. So we have more Latino leaders in Santa Clara County, we have more role models, we have more organizations that are moving and looking at all these issues. Where Santa Clara, we're still working on that, we're still waking up. So I think that that's one of the biggest differences.
Okay, great, thank you. Matt, you're with Innovate Public Schools, and of course you are in the area of Latino parent engagement also, but yeah. What's been your experience with Latino parent engagement, and what do you think the public schools are doing? Are they doing enough to get Latino parents engaged in our public school system and their child's education?
Yeah, I think some public schools are doing a good job. I think a lot could be doing a much better job. We've been building this new parent organization actually up in Redwood City that's done a lot of work with Councilwoman Aguirre. And it's an organization, it's entirely Latino immigrant families who for the first time have come together to really try to create great public schools for all kids in Redwood City. All being driven really by many moms and dads who are new to this country and really just want what all of us want is a great school for their kids. And they've been leading this really great effort with Councilwoman Aguirre and lots of other public officials. And we're seeing that parents, if they're reached out to and people take the time to find some of those natural leaders in a community, that really lots and lots is possible. I think schools could be doing more to find those natural leaders that are really in every community, including every Latino community, and really supporting them to get much more engaged.
Great, thank you. Rocio, what are the initiatives or programs that the county is doing or has done in the area of engaging Latino community members in the area of health? And have you been successful? What's been your experience?
Yeah, well, you know, the county has a very long-standing commitment to the Latino community in Santa Clara County. But I'd like to tell you about one particular initiative that we're very proud of. It's the sponsorship of the Binational Health Week, which is a 2-week long series of health promotion and health prevention activities, including health screenings and such. And every October of every year now, we collaborate with over 50 plus agencies to provide health screenings and other health-related activities throughout the county in the most Latino areas. And we're very proud of that, and we work hard to promote engagement. You know, we can't actually make any changes in the Latino community without Latino engagement, and we work side by side with Latino leaders in order to actually reach out to the most vulnerable, most hard-to-reach populations in the county.
Thank you, thank you. Alex, you've been in the banking, financial industry for many, many years. What's been your experience of late regarding Latinos accessing capital, high-tech jobs, anything around the economic part of Silicon Valley society? And have we been successful? And have you been successful in your efforts with East West Bank?
You know, Ron, thank you for that question. One of the things that the financial industry has really improved on is really getting to know the community and being more involved in the community. In particular, now with my role with East West Bank, is just that we're the largest certified minority financial institution in the country. And one of the things that we do is about civic engagement and getting our businesses engaged, because a lot of the funds that we get, that we work with, we redeposit them and invest them back in minority communities. It's important for us to know, and other financial institutions as well, that without a successful community, we cannot be successful. We can only be as successful financially as our communities are. So it's important for us to invest back in schools, in high tech, in education, and in small women-owned, minority-owned businesses as well. So the more that they succeed, the more our financial institution succeeds as well.
Great, thank you. The Voices of Change report was an outgrowth of our Nuestro Futuro community engagement project. That, of course, is very much matched up with one of our pillar priorities in the foundation, which is convening and engaging the Hispanic community. We like to say that, unfortunately, the Hispanic community is like that unengaged observer at the World Cup game. They're up in the bleachers or they're out in the parking lot. They're not on the game field moving the ball towards the goal line. So my last question, and this is kind of a free-for-all, what kinds of things should the Hispanic Foundation be doing in your communities, whether they're a neighborhood or a particular industry? What should we be doing as a foundation to further engage Latinos in this important place we call Silicon Valley? Anybody want to take a shot?
You know, Ron,
Councilman?
I think you said it a minute ago, they're on the bleachers, they're not sitting at the table. How do we get Latinos to sit at the table? How are we advocates? And I think that that's one of the biggest roles for this organization, is how are we bringing them forward, creating and finding those leaders within those communities so that they can be part of all of the areas that we're talking about. And as leaders and as an organization, I think it's our responsibility to do that.
And I agree, Ron. You know, one particular thing is that we're not just as engaged, but one of the things is that we have a very large young Hispanic population. And one of the things that we're not doing very effectively is getting them engaged. If you look around the boards and people that participate in the leadership, they are your older population in the Hispanic community. We need to engage your high school leaders, your college leaders, and get them involved at that level, so that when they begin their careers, they're well entrenched in the community and very familiar with what's going on.
Great, great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people want to get engaged and involved in the civic arena, but need an invitation and then some support to do that. I think you can't really expect particularly people who don't have immigration papers to get involved without a whole lot of support. And so I think if you've got staff on the ground that are finding those leaders, helping them figure out how they can get involved as a group and not individually, that I think you'd find lots and lots of more people wanting to get involved.
Right.
Yeah, I think another big challenge is people want to know that their time as volunteers is actually going to lead to some successes.
There's some results at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so just some, advice, counsel on what are some real high impact solutions that they could get involved with. So after working on something for a year, they're going to see some success at the end of the road.
And I think you're absolutely right. We've found, with our latest initiative, the Parent Education Academies that are being held in Redwood City and San Jose and Santa Clara County and San Mateo County, that parents are eager, Latino parents are eager for the information.
Yep.
And when we give them that information, they become an equal partner with that teacher in their child's classroom.
Yep.
But you're absolutely right. Someone has to take the effort to show what it takes to be, in this case, engaged in someone's education or in someone's health or in someone's industry. And once they're given that information and skills, I think that they come quick to the table, to go back to your point, Council Member.
And Ron, I just wanted to follow up on Matt's comment. There's an organization called Communiversity out of the San Jose State University. They have done a tremendous job in engaging the community. If there's ever a model as to how to get civic engagement and getting the Latino community engaged, that's the model to look at. We have parents who had never been engaged who are now neighborhood presidents. Mm-hmm. Their kids are involved in anti-gang activities and so on and so forth. I would highly recommend that the Hispanic Foundation take a look at that program and see how we can work with them better to further engage our communities.
Great. Rocio?
And I would add that, I think that there's a lot of leadership already happening, and a lot of it is very informal. And I think a way to sort of connect sort of the informal channels that are already happening would be helpful, somehow connecting those dots.
Okay.
And showing people sort of how to do it.
That brings us to the end of our program. I want to thank you, the viewers, for joining us for this presentation of the Voices of Change report. You can find the full report on our foundation's website. I encourage you to share this information with your colleagues and friends, and also to let them know about the work of our foundation to convene and engage the Silicon Valley Latino community. In closing, I want to thank all of our guest commentators, and special thanks to CreaTV for simulcasting this program. I'm Ron Gonzales of the Hispanic Foundation of Silicon Valley. Thank you for your continued support.